Tech Trouble is back with a jaw-dropping truck driver skill and fails compilation that'll leave you speechless. From near impossible saves to full-blown breakdowns, these moments show the real chaos and control behind the wheel.
Deep in a muddy forest road, a fully loaded logging truck leans dangerously sideways, its wheels buried, its timber load at risk of toppling. The situation looks grim until a timberjack forwarder steps in. Equipped with heavy chains and raw pulling torque, the timberjack latches on with a tow strap and powers forward. Its deep tread tires bite into the mud, dragging the sinking truck upright with relentless force. With each surge, the load steadies, the cab straightens, and the danger fades. It's a powerful reminder of how real off-road machines and skilled operators conquer chaos when failure isn't an option. In a high-stakes industrial zone packed with cranes and silo frameworks, a synchronized lift spirals into chaos. The massive yellow potane tower segment buckles under stress and crashes like a domino, pulling down cables and nearly toppling a nearby crane. What began as a precise multi-crane operation ends in disaster. Brace yourself, because what you're about to see is raw mechanical force timed with ruthless precision. A towering 5-story concrete structure is about to meet its match, and the demolition crew has just one shot to bring it down clean. On the left, a high-reach Hitachi ZX470 LC5 excavator fitted with a powerful rotating concrete pulverizer closes in. The operator targets the critical structural columns at the base, punching straight into the reinforced concrete like it's paper. Rebar twists and bricks erupt as the machine methodically chews through the foundation. Within seconds, the building begins to tip. Chaos erupts as a side-bone pipeliner's recovery spirals out of control. Just as two bulldozers lift the tipped machine, its track snaps, sending it skidding backward down a muddy slope. Here's a moment where everything goes wrong. A routine heavy lift over a narrow canal turns into a catastrophic mix of mechanical failure, misjudgment, and floating instability. Two massive crawler cranes, likely mounted on pontoons, begin hoisting a bridge segment, but as the load shifts, the barge tilts under the weight. One crane tips shoreward, its boom arcing past vertical, then both cranes collapse. The bridge crashes sideways into a building, and the entire setup flips into the water like a toy. Under the roaring lights of a packed nighttime tractor pull event, this high-performance beast named Hammered launches off the line with all cylinders firing. Watch closely, because this is how fast things can go from control to collapse. A powerful Hitachi high-reach excavator begins tearing into the lower corner of a brick-and-mortar building, targeting structural weak points with surgical force. Dust bursts from the impact zone as the pulverizer claw smashes through concrete and red clay brick. But then, disaster. Without warning, the entire multi-story wall gives way. The structure lurches forward in a violent cascade of masonry and steel, slamming into the ground with an earth-shaking impact. In frame 3, the building doesn't just fall, it implodes, folding in on itself like it's been hit by a wrecking ball. By the final shot, a massive dust cloud erupts, completely swallowing the scene. Concrete shrapnel rains down while visibility drops to zero. This wasn't a planned drop, it was a structural chain reaction that detonated the entire frame in seconds. One wrong bite, one miscalculated hit, and the building responded with a total collapse. It's a brutal reminder that demolition work is part art, part science, and always on the edge of danger.
This is every log hauler's worst nightmare. Massive weight, slick terrain, and zero traction. A fully loaded dual-trailer logging truck crawls along a muddy farm track, its red bunks stacked with soaked hardwood pushing the rig to its weight limit. But the trailer wheels sink into the clay like quicksand. Tires spin, axles bog down, and the entire setup grinds to a halt. Under the roaring lights of a packed nighttime tractor pull event, this high-performance beast named Hammered launches off the line with all cylinders firing. Built for brutal torque and max RPMs, this modified pulling tractor surges forward, front tires lifting under raw engine force as the crowd cheers on. This rescue unfolds like a masterclass in machine control and operator skill. A fully loaded dump truck lies buried in a muddy field, its rear axles swallowed by thick clay, tires locked, and the frame sagging under tons of stone aggregate. With no traction and zero chance of self-recovery, the rig is going nowhere fast. Then comes the game changer, a JCB 3DX backhoe loader, front bucket lowered and operator focused. The crew starts by clearing mud around the wheels, carving a path through the sludge. With stabilizers down and hydraulics engaged, the JCB begins to push, leveraging every ounce of its weight to free the trapped dump truck. Push after push, the bucket drives forward, inching the dead weight out of the trench. And finally, breakthrough! The truck crawls out onto solid ground, greeted by cheers from the crew. This is more than just a recovery. It's a gritty display of precision, teamwork, and the power of the right machine in the right hands.
This wild scene kicks off in the back of a livestock transport truck, where workers are busy prepping the floor with dry soil and straw, getting everything ready for a very unpredictable group of passengers. Outside, a large pen, filled with muddy puddles and open space, holds a flock of full-grown ostriches, restless, alert, and not in the mood to cooperate. As the gate opens, chaos erupts. The ostriches bolt in every direction, kicking, flapping, and sprinting across the enclosure in full panic mode. These birds are powerful, and every step they take sends splashes of mud flying as the crew cautiously moves in. It takes a combination of skill and timing. Handlers gently guide the ostriches one by one toward the truck, using padded sticks and teamwork to manage their path. Once inside, the birds are carefully calmed in position, but not without a fight. At one point, an ostrich kicks wildly, narrowly missing one of the workers before settling. In the final shots, the last ostrich jumps up into the red transport bed, joining the others. The team quickly closes off the space with wood panels and poles for safety. Mission accomplished. This isn't just animal handling, it's a fast-paced dance with one of nature's strongest and most unpredictable birds. One wrong move, and somebody's taken a hit. This is a terrifying fail caught mid-operation. In the first frame, Two workers are dangerously positioned on top of a suspended steel drum, relying entirely on a worn cable system connected to an old tracked crane. But just moments later, the entire crane tilts, its base giving out under uneven terrain. Now this is where truck driving turns into pure survival. Deep in the heart of a muddy logging trail, a fully loaded timber hauler powers its way through an unforgiving stretch of jungle terrain. The road is nothing but loose clay, craters, and brutal inclines, yet this driver's pushing forward with no backup and no margin for error. Each wheel fights to grip as the front axle dips and twists through ruts that could swallow a compact car. The trailer behind groans under the weight of massive hardwood logs, yet stays in line as the rig claws over every ridge like a beast on a mission. In frame after frame, you can see the finesse, precise throttle, perfectly timed downshifts, and expert control over raw power. The suspension flexes under strain, the tires throw mud like cannon blasts, and somehow this driver keeps the load straight on a road where one slip means total disaster. This is off-road logging transport at its wildest. Captured in a heart-pounding moment, a towering offshore structure is brought down in a thunderous, controlled demolition. A massive crane suspends a personnel basket at a safe height, while charges detonate below, severing the main support beams.
Oh no! This is the complete journey from hatchling to harvest inside a high-capacity ostrich farming operation. The opening frames show a densely packed enclosure where hundreds of young ostriches roam in tightly controlled groups. It's a feeding frenzy as they cluster around troughs under strict monitoring. The second segment takes us inside the nursery. Under warm brooding lights, dozens of fragile chicks gather for heat and safety, indicating a carefully regulated early-stage growth environment. Clean bedding and steady lighting keep mortality low and growth consistent. Finally, massive ostrich carcasses hang vertically for final inspection and trimming. Skinned and cleaned, they represent the end of the line in this vertically integrated system that runs from field to packaging. This isn't just farming, it's a full-scale, tightly managed production line for one of the world's most unique livestock species. From controlled growth environments to efficient butchering, everything is optimized for output, hygiene, and meat quality. This is a perfect example of poor load management gone wrong. As the flatbed truck navigates a narrow dirt road, the heavy excavator on board shifts dangerously due to uneven weight distribution.
Aún queda el accidente, portón 6, la grúa acaba de caer.
This moment captures a catastrophic miscalculation. A CAT 320 hydraulic excavator attempts to load itself onto a multi-axle lowboy trailer using its boom for balance. Things go south fast. As the operator swings the machine's boom backward to pivot up, the tracks lift off entirely.
And that's the unforgiving truth behind heavy lift operations. One miscalculated load, one unstable ground surface, and suddenly a job site becomes a demolition zone. What began as a controlled lift with synchronized precision ended in total collapse. A twisted Potane crane in ruins, tangled steel, broken rigging, and thousands of dollars in equipment damage. This wasn't just a mechanical failure. It was a breakdown in planning, execution, and site awareness. Because in the world of industrial lifting, there are no second chances. Every bolt, every cable, every counterweight matters. And when they don't line up perfectly, gravity takes control, and the outcome is brutal. Let this serve as a high-impact reminder. In extreme construction, timing, balance, and preparation aren't optional. They're survival. If this left you stunned, hit that subscribe button and stay locked in. Tech Trouble brings you the world's most jaw-dropping fails, recoveries, and extreme machinery moments where precision meets pressure and the margin for error is zero.